Hallelujah! Thank you, Martha Yordi, our amazing music director and pianist. Thank you, Martha, for that. And welcome all of those who are all of those of you who are here in the sanctuary. We're so glad to have you back with us. And those of you who are with us watching on Facebook or YouTube, we're also delighted that you chose to join us this morning or whenever you happen to be watching this at some later time. I want to let you know that we are a loving, welcoming, inclusive community, and we welcome you to be a part of this community, whoever you are, wherever you are in your life journey, or wherever you are in your spiritual journey. We welcome you to be a part of our community. And if you would like to keep up with what's going on here, we do a newsletter every Friday. If you'd like to sign up for that, please go to our website. That's unitydenver.org. At the bottom of the homepage, there's a button for you to click on, and you can sign up for our newsletter. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel so that you get notifications when we're going live. And if you're watching on Facebook, please like our page, again, and sign up for notifications so that you know when we are broadcasting. We have an app, so if you would like to download the app, please text Unity Denver, one word, space APP, to 77977, and you'll get a text that gives you a link to download our app. And when you get that app, you can then watch us, go back and watch previous services. You can sign up, you can donate, many different things you can do there. And if none of that works for you, please just send us an email at info@unitydenver.org. And again, thank you for being with us this morning. So I invite you now to say with me our creed, which is, our God is love, our race is human, our faith is oneness. And the reading I want to share with you this morning comes from the book that Trish is facilitating the book study on, Practical Metaphysics, by Eric Butterworth. Eric Butterworth is a renowned Unity minister and author and teacher. He has since made his transition, but his legacy lives on. And this I want to read from today is about thought, about the power of our thinking. And that's what I want to talk about in my lesson today. And he says, it is so important to know that if you refuse to accept responsibility for your thoughts, to own your own thoughts, and to insist that things, conditions, and your thoughts about them are caused by the things out in the world, there's little you can do about changing them. If you're unwilling to accept responsibility for your thoughts, that's the way life is. But if you take responsibility for your thoughts, if you always recognize that whatever happens in your mind is a result of your consciousness, nobody made it happen. If you're upset, it's because you were upsettable. If you're disturbed and anxious, it's because of a level of your awareness. It's not the conditions nor the things. If you take responsibility for them and admit that your states of consciousness within your own mind are responsible, then and only then are you in a position to fulfill the realization that you can change your life by altering your thoughts. So that's what I want to talk about in my talk today, about the power of our thoughts, and go a little bit further with that as we explore this primary tenet of New Thought and of the Unity movement. So I invite you now, I'm going to lead us in singing Surely the Presence, and then we'll go into a time of prayer. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. So I invite you to close your eyes now. Take a conscious breath. Feel yourself completely grounded in this time and space. Feel the chair supporting your body, your feet firmly against the floor. Mother Earth rising up to meet you. And breathe into this awareness of love, life, the one power, the one presence that we call God. Living in its fullness, its wholeness, right here, right now, centered as you and as me. That the allness of that divine life is right here. Surely the presence of God, surely the presence of love, surely the presence is in this place, in every place, but surely centered in this place at the center of your awareness. And as we open ourselves to the realization of that life living itself as us, we know that that is the source of all we could ever want, all we could ever need or desire. It's right here and right now present. As we open our consciousness, we open ourselves to the awareness of it. Open ourselves to be the vessels through which it flows. And open ourselves up to the actions, everything that we need in order to bring it forth in our lives. We claim the truth. We know this is the truth for us, each of us. We know it for each other. And indeed, we know it for all creation. And right now, I just invite us to bring to mind and heart anyone who is on your heart and mind today that might be experiencing some dis-ease or imbalance or challenge in their lives. Hold them in your heart and your mind and know that as you hold them, we hold that together in consciousness. And we know the truth. We choose in this moment to know the truth for each one. That each one is an expression of that divine, perfect, whole, complete life of God. And as we hold them in the light of that truth, we see them opening up to receive it and to know it for themselves. And we celebrate that. We celebrate the truth. We celebrate our willingness to claim it and our commitment to be it. And as we allow it to be, it does become so. And so it is. Amen.
I wouldn't be surprised if peace broke out all over. I wouldn't be surprised if I found a 4-leaf clover, 'cause miracles abound. They happen all around me every day. I wouldn't be surprised if we put an end to hunger. I wouldn't be surprised if just kept getting younger, 'cause miracles abound. They happen all around me every day. And life keeps blessing me with so much good. I wouldn't change it even if I could. Blessing me in every way, and if it all turns out okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised if I found out every answer. I wouldn't be surprised when we found a cure for cancer, 'cause miracles abound. They happen all around me every day. surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And life keeps blessing me with so much good. I wouldn't change it even if I could. Blessing me in every way. And if it all turns out okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Thank you, Barrett. Barrett Harper, back with us. He was here at Easter. And Barrett is eagerly anticipating the birth of a new baby. This is your second child. So, yeah, congratulations. I know you're kind of nervous about that, right? 6 days away. All right. So we celebrate that with you. Thinking about new life. Something new birth. I've heard a lot of people, when the pandemic first started over a year ago, and we were talking about, we thought, we'll be back in service, we'll be back in church in a month. Well, maybe 2 months, and it kept going, and I kept hearing people talk about, when are things going to get back to normal? When are things going to get back to normal? And then I also heard, a section of people saying, we don't want things to go back to normal. Let's do something new. Let's not go back to the way things were before this. This is giving us an opportunity to stop, to remove ourselves from that habitual way of being and doing and living. And so can we take this time then to reflect on that and to move into something new, to create something different? Trish and I have been talking about that for us here. It applies not only just to us individually, but to culture, businesses, churches. What are we wanting to do differently? It's so easy for us, it's easy for me, to go back into the way it always was. Just the way it's always been, a habitual way of thinking, a habitual way of being, a habitual way of doing. And what do we get when we keep doing the same old thing? We get the same old results, right? And if we're happy with that, great. But if there's something we want to change, how do we do that? And so I think it requires us to look at that. First, what do we really want to create for our lives? What is the life that you want? What is the life that we as a community really want to be? Who do we want to be? And as I read from Butterworth's book, Practical Metaphysics, and what we teach in New Thought, in Unity, is that everything begins with thought. Everything begins with our thinking. You've all heard the adage, I'm sure, change your thinking, change your life. Energy follows thought, and thought directs energy. All of those ideas that we have about the power of our thought. And it's important for us to understand that, and how does that work? Why is it so important for us to be aware of what we're thinking? Well, I want to say, first of all, a disclaimer, and you all know this already, but I just want to be clear that I'm not a physicist. Nobody expects me to be a physicist, right? But what I understand about that from the things I've studied and read and listened to, that thought, everything is energy. Science is telling us everything is energy. It's not just a woo-woo idea. It's not some new age concept. It's science. Everything is energy. Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. The secrets of the universe, energy, vibration, and frequency. Everything is energy. And energy is always moving. It's always vibrating. And all energy vibrates at a particular rate or a frequency. So our thoughts are energy. They vibrate at a particular frequency. And our thoughts, at whatever frequency we're vibrating, tend to bring up feelings of a similar vibration. And then the feelings of vibration tend to bring up thoughts of a similar vibration. And thoughts of similar vibration tend to attract thoughts of similar vibration. So we can get caught up in this loop of thinking, feeling. And what happens is that becomes our mind, our consciousness. And what happens then is that the body, the physical body, we know this, science tells us this, the physical body responds to the energy of our thinking and our feeling. Neurotransmitters are released. Things happen in the biology of us according to our thinking and our feeling. Joe Dispenza talks about that a great deal, about how at some point the body, the energy of the body becomes the mind. And so the body begins to inform the thinking and the feeling, and it's all just one energy field. And it is that energy field of thinking, feeling, body that we tend to put out, we do transmit into this creative medium. And guess what we do? We attract things that vibrate in resonance with our thinking, feeling, body. All of that happens. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm just reminding us of the basics of our law of attraction that we teach. What we put out, we get back. The law of cause and effect. What you think about comes about. All of the law of mind action. All of those things that we teach in unity, in New Thought. And we begin at that point, when the body becomes the mind, we begin to identify as that. And so what we identify with, our thinking, our feeling, our body, the energy field, all of that is what we then begin to create from, the idea of who and what we are. It becomes habitual. So how do we change our thinking when so much of our thought, so much of our thinking is actually subconscious? We don't even know it. We don't even know sometimes what's going on in there, what's resonating, vibrating. You know, we have all these tapes that we took on from parents and school and culture and, yes, even church. And those are running in there. So how do we begin to change our thoughts in order to affect a change in the condition in our lives? Well, I think this guy named Jesus had some pretty good ideas at times about some things that we could do. And one of the things he said about that's most important for us is to seek first the kingdom. To seek first the kingdom. He talked about, we all in our humanness, unless you're not like me, but if you are like me, I tend to want to try to change things out here. I see something I want to have different. I try to manipulate it out here. I try to make it different out here. But usually that doesn't work unless something changes in my consciousness, in my thinking. So Jesus said to us, don't think about that stuff. Don't give that any thought. How difficult is that sometimes? He said, seek the kingdom. Where's the kingdom? What is the kingdom? The kingdom is within you. The kingdom is you. The kingdom is the very essence of who we are. I want to read another little section from Butterworth because he says this so beautifully. If I can find the right thing I wanted to read. There's a subtle point that is rarely observed in metaphysics. You read articles about it, and there are books about it. You are what you think, right? You are what you think, and I say that is totally inaccurate. You are not what you think. Now that seems to be a matter of paradox, because here we are talking about metaphysics. And this is a general axiom in metaphysical studies. You are what you think. I say it's totally inaccurate. You are not what you think. You are thinking what you think. This is a very important distinction because the you that thinks what you think is more than the thoughts you're thinking. Clear? The thoughts are in your mind, and you have the power to control your mind. If I am what I think, then my thoughts are me. And if my thoughts are negative, then I'm negative. What am I going to do about it? This is just the way it is. I'm just a negative person. I was born this way. My parents have been that way. That's the way I grew up. You see, it's very simple. It's simple. It's not true. I am not what I think. I think what I think. And I have the capacity to think whatever I decide to think. If I realize I have the ability and begin to exercise that prerogative. So we're not what we think. We think what we think. We're thinking what we think, and we can change that. But what are we? I talked about it last week. We are the very presence of that divine life. And the best thing we can do, I believe, or at least it begins here, is to align our thinking with the awareness of what and who we truly are. Stop thinking about ourselves as limited beings. Stop thinking about ourselves as who our parents told us we are. Stop thinking about ourselves as who the church told us we are or not. Stop thinking about ourselves in the way that our school or any of our peers or any of society told us we are. That is not who we are. And yet, we continue to think in that way. Unless we intervene on those thoughts. Seek the kingdom. Know who you truly are, as Jesus said. You are the light of the world. That is who you are. And we begin there, I believe. You know, we're walking around yesterday, and this mother was putting her baby in the car, and her little 4-year-old was running around on the street. And her mother said, "What are you doing?" And I thought, isn't that interesting how mothers kind of have these, so all mothers say the same things. So if we look at that, mother would say, my mother would sometimes say, "Who do you think you are?" Well, that's a good question. Who do you think you are? I think that's an important thing. I know I am the expression of divine life. That's who I am. That's who you are. That's who you are. So it begins there with thinking and knowing who we are. But that wise one, the teacher of truth, the one we know as Jesus Christ, didn't stop there. And sometimes we want to stop there. We want to stop at seek first the kingdom. Well, I can do that. I can stop, I can meditate, I can contemplate, I can pray, I can get in this energy of knowing who I am, connecting with the God of my being, connecting with that life force energy that is me. I can do that. In fact, I'm pretty good at that. And I bet many of you are as well. But Jesus also said, seek the kingdom and seek righteousness. But what does that righteousness mean? It doesn't mean piety. It doesn't mean doing everything right. But I believe he was saying, not only must your thinking be in alignment with truth, not only must your thoughts and your feelings come into alignment with the truth of who you are, but you also must seek right speaking and right action. Words that are also in alignment with the truth of your being. And actions that are in alignment with the truth of your being. Thinking everything begins with thought. All creation begins with thought. Everything that you want to create in your life as your life, everything that we might want to create as a community here at Unity Spiritual Center Denver begins with an idea, begins with a thought. And as we connect with that, as we pray, as we meditate, as we contemplate, as we align our minds to that one mind, then we connect with those divine ideas, as Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore called them. Those ideas, those visions, the dreams of who we are supposed to be, who we are here to be, and how we can demonstrate I hesitate to use this word, but it's coming to me. How we can demonstrate the isness of what we are. And so we open ourselves to those divine ideas, the dreams, the visions. And then we allow our speech to come into alignment with that truth. You know, when we're talking about energy, Butterworth talks in the book about, and Trish said you can join the class again this week if you'd like, join this week if you like. He talks about the power of the word, the spoken word. And we teach in Unity about that as well, the power of our word. Why is the word so powerful? I think it's because, one, is that the word, the spoken word, has a powerful energy vibration to it. You know, we talk about thought as energy. We talk about feeling as energy vibration. But when I think about the word that I speak has a resonance, has a vibration. That vibration also I project out into the field, the creative medium. And all of that word then, it embodies my consciousness. Have you ever thought about how your words, the words that you speak, embody your consciousness? Another thing my mother used to say, you better watch your mouth, young man. Any other mothers ever said that? She didn't mean it in a nice way either. But I think it's important advice to watch what we're saying. Be aware of the words that we're speaking. What are my words saying? What are the words that I speak? What are the energy vibrations of the words that I speak? If I'm speaking judgmental words, what is the vibration of that word? if I'm criticizing myself or I'm criticizing another person, what is the vibrational frequency of that word, of the energy of that? In some way, it's got to be fear, some iteration of fear. If I am in any way disparaging another person, what is the energy of that vibration? I think it's important for us to be aware of that. What are we speaking? Are our words in integrity with the energy of the Christ, the divine, the true nature of us? The other thing that comes to me about that, and I think I probably just need to cover my face for this one. The other thing that comes to me about that, and came to me about that this week as I was focusing on it, is the words that we speak. Are we always really being truthful? Are we being honest? Are we speaking words of truth? Or are we telling little white lies? Why would we tell a little white lie? I know none of you do that, but I can tell you, it's fear. It's fear. Fear that we're going to be rejected, fear that somebody's not going to like us. So are we being in integrity with the Christ of us when we choose to speak words that are not true? Are we being in integrity with the Christ of us when we speak words that are not true about ourselves? You know, I know since I'm only 39, I know it's difficult to believe. But I've noticed myself lately, you know, I'll be sitting for a while, and then I'll get up and I'll just make those old man noises like, oh, you know, oh, I'm getting so old. I'm getting old. Why in God's name would I ever say that? You see, even those little things that we say about ourselves have energy. So I think, again, it's important for us to watch our mouths. What are we saying? About ourselves, about each other, about the world? Can we find a way to shift that? Because what we're saying is also what we're thinking and feeling, right? It's all together. But the thing about that I want to say too is that if I am projecting words that are imbued with negativity, with a lower vibration of fear or guilt or shame or worry, whatever that is, where does that go? Where does that vibration go? We think it just goes out there. But it doesn't. It goes right here. Right here. First. It goes into your energy field. It becomes part of your vibration, and it becomes part of what you are projecting out into the creative medium of the universe. And guess what? The universe is reflecting that back to you in some way, shape, or form. But then it does go out further from you, and then we get the reverberations of it. I mean, let's just, we don't have to look too far to see what the vibrations of the thinking of fear, the feelings of fear, the embodiment of fear is creating in our world. Turn on the television. So what do we want to create? Do we want to create something different? Do we want to keep creating the same old thing? I don't think so. So our opportunity, I think, is to change our thinking about the world. Change our thinking first about ourselves. Change our thinking about each other. We are so divided. You know, if you don't believe what I believe, if you're of a different political party than me, whatever that is, we can get into that place of just vibrating this energy of fear, and even worse than that. And what are we creating? So, if I could, I would be speaking to everybody and let everybody know, now is the time to change that, but I'm speaking to you, and we are the beginning of that. We can change our thinking about ourselves and about each other, and it begins with that. And then we can change the way we speak to each other, about each other, and about ourselves. But another aspect of that, I believe, is what we do with that. You know, if you want to create something different in your personal life, begin with the thinking. Begin with knowing who you are. Begin with aligning your thoughts to the power, the harmony, the love, the peace, the joy that is your divine inheritance, is the God within you. Allow your words to be the embodiment of that truth. What you say to yourself, what you say to others. That's why we get so, we teach about affirmations, talking about affirmations, getting your mind stayed on the truth, on the positive, and speaking those aloud, the truth. But then I believe it may, but I sometimes think we get into this magical thinking that it's just going to happen, but very often we do have to do something. We have to take some action. I mean, if you want a new job, you can think about a new job. You can start talking about, I'm so grateful for this new job that I'm about to move into. I'm going to be rewarded handsomely for what I do. I'm going to be able to contribute to people. I'm going to love the place I work. I'm going to be able to work from home, whatever that is. You can begin to get in the feeling of that. But then you probably may want to send out a resume. You may want to call somebody. Or maybe somebody just calls you and it just happens. It could happen that way. But Eric Butterworth also says that, God's probably not going to bring the milk to your door. Well, today, that does happen. It happens for me every week. Although, anyway, I won't go there. But you know what I'm saying. It's that we get to take the action to be in alignment with our truth. And so I believe, yes, it begins with thought. It begins with our speech. It begins with alignment. It begins with knowing. And then it begins with, what do we do with that? What action can I take in order to truly live this thought, this truth of me? And so I believe if we, as a community, as Unity Spiritual Center Denver, don't want to go back to the old, just to drop back easily into the way it always has been. We want to move forward. We want to do something different. We want to live in alignment with our purpose, with our truth. How do we begin to think about that? How do we begin to talk about that with each other? And then we come up with, what do we do in order to make that happen? And so we're going to be doing more of that in the days, the months, the weeks to come. Looking at, who do we want to be? What do we want to do? How do we want to come back together? you know? So much is, I've heard so many people talk about, oh, now I can feel comfortable, I've been vaccinated, now I can go out to eat, I feel more comfortable doing things, going out in public. You here today are evidence of that. But I just want to encourage us individually and collectively, now that things are opening up, not just to fall back into the way it was, to go back to life as normal. Let's see what the new normal is for us. Because I believe that Spirit, God's source, is always calling us to more. Always calling us to something greater. So our opportunity is to hear the call, listen to the call, connect with those divine ideas, the dreams, the visions, and to do what is ours to do, to live them, personally and collectively. So I just want to invite us all into that opportunity. What do we want to create? Not, again, our lives, our community, but also our world. What do we want to create? Let's not go back to sleep. Let's wake up, stay awake, and create something new. Okay, I think I'm finished, so thank you for listening. So let's all take a breath. Breathing in and breathing out. We just allow the breath to remind us of who we truly are. We allow the breath to bring us fully present into this now moment. We allow the breath to remind us that we are always in the flow of that eternal life. We are always the livingness, the expression of that divine life. We are being breathed in every moment. And as we open ourselves up to the awareness of that life that is inspiring us, we open our minds to receive the divine ideas that are our inheritance. That we are expressions of the one mind, the allness of God. And as we open ourselves to that, we connect. We allow. And we know in this moment who we truly are. And in that awareness of that divine life that we are living in this moment, we settle in to a short time of silence where we listen, we open, we hear. And so we breathe, we relax, we surrender, we allow our minds to be inspired, we allow our hearts to be opened, we allow every aspect of our energy, our bodies, to be assumed by this energy of light and love. We know who we are. We know we are here to be present as that life, to express the allness of God through our thinking, through our feeling, through our words, through our actions. And so breathe that deeply all the way down through the bottom of your feet, just grounding the awareness here and now. Feel the chair supporting your body. Feel Mother Earth supporting you, rising up to meet your feet. I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive. I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive love, love. I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive. I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive love, love. I am here to give and receive love. So let's all take a breath as we come back into this space. As we gather together, now is a time in our service where we would be collecting an offering. We won't be passing around the baskets as we normally did, but there will be baskets in the back for you to leave your offering if you would like, and there are opportunities for you to give electronically. If you have the app downloaded on your smartphone, you can give that way. If you're watching us, there are many ways for you to do that now, online, on your phone. You can also mail in your contribution, and we are so grateful for all the ways that you continue to support this ministry. So let us say together our offertory blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am thankful.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. special things I compile, each one there to make me smile. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let us be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world we see, to the world we close our eyes to see, that we close our eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, the vision of the world I see. A million dreams, it's all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
So now, what is now? What's that? Is that it? Anyway, thank you for being here this morning. And I don't have my order of service, so I forgot what was next. So now is our opportunity to close together. Oh, announcements. Okay. Trish, again, is doing Practical Metaphysics on Wednesday nights. It began this past Wednesday, and you can join. Go to the website and register, and you can join this week, but after this week, it will be closed. At 11:15 on Facebook and YouTube, wherever you happen to be watching, we will have a children's message, and Natalie does such an amazing job on those. I just encourage you to watch those when you can. You don't have to be right at 11:15. They're available on YouTube and Facebook anytime you want to watch them. And fellowship is today after service. It's 11:30 on Zoom. So if you rush home, you can still get there in time to make it in time for the fellowship hour on Zoom. And I don't know, the link is in our newsletter. So if you get our newsletter, the link is in there. So now let us close with a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. As light, I illumine my world. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. As love, I live empathy, understanding, and compassion. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. As power, I co-create a world of love, unity, and equality for all. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. As presence, I stand in truth in every circumstance. Wherever we are, God is. Amen. Now, Barrett will lead us in singing our closing song.
As the moon in the sky moves the sea, love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's the tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves the tree. Feel the wind of love increase as we move this world in peace. Come love the world with me. Come love the world with me.
And I forgot to say, if you're new to us, please stay seated until our ushers come dismiss you. They're going to be dismissing people from the back, and please exit as quickly as you can. Thank you.